engine in it. SCTA was able to run the Mirage Dry Lake in the summer, but during the winter, they would run when they could come up here to the half mile. This is Burke Lesage doing the starting. Burke's a longtime SCTA member. Now what they do here, they move the starting line back a quarter mile from where the Hart was running his, and they run the full half mile. And it's kind of neat, but you find out that if you run a half mile and you haven't changed your gears from the quarter mile, you're spinning it up pretty tight before you get down to the finish line. This car coming up to make a run right now, number 5, is run by Art Cheverton of La Habra. It's got a Cadillac engine in this coupe. Cat engine injected. Now, if I call some of these cars wrong, I'll give you some of the name of some of the guys that help me identify a few of them, and you can jump on them. So it's pretty hard to get everybody right. So if your car goes through and we give somebody else a name to it, my apologies there. This 55 Plymouth coming up, ready to run now, is run by a gentleman called Chief Elam. Well, if you had one of these in your garage, you wouldn't have to worry about your retirement, would you? I'm probably going to be wrong on this, but it's got to be either a Cunningham or a Curtis Craft. And but I know it was a real fast little sports car. Now, just to give you an example of the difference, I mentioned earlier my Ford would run, had a high-performance Ford, would run 103 in the quarter. Up here, it'd run 116, or when my wife running it, would run 117. But you gain anywhere from 15 to 20 miles an hour from the quarter to the half. This Roadster right here is run by Dean Lowe, who runs the dry lakes also. That Dean ran a Studebaker up at El Mirage Dry Lake and went over on his head. This little car right here, run by Buzz Lowe, his dad. And they flipped it up at El Mirage Dry Lake at about 150 miles an hour. They have run 160 with this car at El Mirage Dry Lake. They flipped it, rolled it up pretty bad, but the driver came out of it okay. Got a Chevy engine in it, almost one of the point where you want to say what else. Because most of the cars in the early era, they couldn't afford a Chrysler, so the most of the cars just ran Chevy engines. The poor man's Chrysler. Not too sure what the sports car here had. If you had a radiator in your car, you could just continue right on around the course and come on back to where you started. It'd be nice to have some of these Corvettes now sitting in your garage. This track is no longer there. They stopped running circle track races there quite a few years back. For a while it was the hot thing on the coast, but then there just got to be too many other tracks. There's your retirement car again. You see these cars and you wonder if the owner at that time, if they still have the car. It'd be kind of interesting to know what happened to some of the cars you see. If they're still around, if the fellow still owns them, what kind of condition they're in. We're looking at stuff about 35 years ago. Our next segment we're going to get into after the last couple of cars run is going to be Long Beach Drag Strip.